Hello.
Hey Rudra, good morning. Good evening.
Morning. How are you?
Good, how about you?
Okay, good. I didn't get any chance to create those tables, and um, I just want to let you know that.
Okay, no worries. But do you have like any doubts or did you get a chance to look into it? Like not tables, but any of this stuff?
No, that was pretty straightforward, so I don't think I had any questions on that. But yeah, no. But then I think if I had created those tables, that would have been a good practice. But I couldn't, and I think I also have fever, so wasn't able to do much.
Okay, so how are you now? Like, should we continue or want to take some?
Yeah, and I've already missed one, so I didn't want to um leave. So yeah, no, let's continue. Yeah. Okay.
So, okay. So today we'll be covering with the client. Okay, I am done with the creation of tables on like my PDI. I'll just show you that. And what I can share you now, okay, I can share you my update sets regularly with you, so that you can import those update sets and you can just work it. Like if you like have any doubts or anything related to it, right? That I can,
Okay.
right? So I have created one this thing. So now I have three tables with me. That is tickets, ticket category, and knowledge base.
Okay.
Okay. So today we'll be starting with the scripting part of it.
Okay.
Okay. So today first we'll start with the clients, basically client side scripting, right? Let me just open any of the form. Okay, let's just start with one ticket. For example, now if you want to do any form validations kind of thing, right? For that, you will be writing some of the client side code. Like we have two types of.
So what do you mean form validation is it? Hello.
There is some like background noise, I think so, from your end.
Um. Yeah. So is it better now?
Yeah, it's better. Yeah. Okay. So form side validations, when you some just think in the terms of HTML part. Whenever you want to make any of the field read only mandatory, right? If you want to hide those fields, basically, if you want to deal with any of the fields which are there in the form, like population,
Mhm.
value, not it's not it has nothing to do with the back end, just the form level thing, whatever you are seeing. Right? If you want to
But
handle this,
can't I hide those or do those things from form layout, from design, and all that?
want to do it from form layout or form design, then it will be a permanent kind of thing. Right? It won't be like if the priority is high, right? Then only state should be visible. Those kind of behaviors, if you are putting the field into that thing into right form layout and form design, then those things will not work because with form layout and form designer, those things are permanent.
Mm-hmm. And
You
then
have
if any other team is using the same ticket form, then it'll just apply globally, or it'll just application.
when we are doing this client scripts and UI policies, that like client side code, right? We do have the option of view where you can handle it via view also. And again, the same part. If it is like something specific to that users, right? Then we can also handle it via roles also. Like if that user is financial role, then make this field visible to him, else just hide him. If you're dealing with the view rules, then it's a simple thing.
Okay.
You know what? I'll cover view for you because you have so many questions around the views thing, like a different uh, departments persons, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that thing will be more clearer to you. Let me just cover the views first for you.
Okay.
Okay. For example, this is one view. We'll just save the form. Default view is the by default view, like that will be getting out of the box thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Configure it, but its name will be always be default. Now, if you want to create some view for the specific type of persons, right? I just go there, configure, form design. For example, now you have an option of default view, right? If you want to create some new view, right? Suppose for financial person, we are making it as financial view. Okay.
Okay.
Then you can remove and add things accordingly. For example, finance view, we are removing some of the things like configuration item, right, and parent. We have removed those fields for financial persons.
Okay. And how do you activate that for them?
Come again?
And how do you activate that for them? Like for that group?
Okay, wait. So if you're admin kind of thing, right? If you want to have a look at this, like all two views, right? Which you can do is you can switch it from here. View, financial view. Okay. But now if you're user, you won't have this provision. You won't have this provision to like switch the views, right? What you can do is you can write view rules for this one. I'll just copy the table name of it. Well, you can select who will be financial view. Let me just take the backend name of this view. Now condition. Those conditions will be like generic conditions, right? So if any of the if you want to match all conditions or any conditions, right? Or you can write a script also here.
Okay.
Kind of things you can do from view rules, which will whenever that person is opening any of the form, right, it will calculate its view rule, then it will open the form accordingly.
Okay. At what point, I mean, how do you know when to write a script and when maybe you, how do you know when you should switch to script and um you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so these kind of things which we have just discussed, view and view rules, those are like rare kind of scenarios. It won't basically, so we used to handle the field ka views from here only, like via client script and UI policies. Now, once you will get a hands-on this, now then you will come up with the scenarios, then you will come up with an approach. Then it will be more handy for you to think whether I should go with the script part or it's a configuration thing only. That comes with an experience.
Okay.
Yeah. Like if you will be like knowing too many things around it, right? Like if you will have approach to solve, if you have multiple approaches to solve one problem, right? Then at that time you will come to know like what is better one and what is most efficient one to like implement.
Okay.
So that will need a practice, right? So are we clear on this view rules, right? Now I'll just switch it to default view. Okay, so back to our scripting thing. So if you are handling any kind of form validation, which is nothing to do with the backend thing, right? Then it's just about that visibility, mandating things, making things read only, right? And some of the validations here and there, for example, if this field changes, so this field should auto-populate, right?
Right.
Just
Right.
on the form thing. Yeah. So those kind of things will be handling from the client-side scripting.
Okay.
Okay. And now in ServiceNow, to write the client scripting, we have two types of scripting here, like two types of configurations which can provide us the client scripting with a support. So one is your UI policies and other one is your client scripts. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
First, we'll cover the UI policies. Again, you will search for UI policies under system UI. You will be getting the UI policies option. Okay. Now we'll write one UI policy. Okay. So for the UI policy, if you don't want to write code, right? If you don't want to write code, and UI policy handles only three scenarios, which is like, first is making the fields read only, okay, or editable, making the field mandatory or non-mandatory, and making the field visible or not visible. These three kind of scenarios will be handled by UI policies. And UI policies, we suggest to write the UI policy when you don't need to write the code, basically.
Okay.
For these three type of scenarios, it has nothing to do with the code. It's just a condition based thing we can handle, right? For example, in our case, whenever my priority is critical, right?
Yeah.
Want to mandate in the short description of the field.
Okay.
Okay. So for this one, what we'll write the UI policies. For example, first we'll select the table. Okay. Just this short description of it. Order. Order is basically calculates the execution order. For example, you have multiple UI policies, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have multiple UI policies and it's ordered with like 100, 200, 300, then it will execute accordingly. First,
So
the order
which one takes
100.
yeah, no, 100 happens first. Let's say 100, and then we have one other which is 200. They both clash. So which one takes
100 will override the first one.
100 will override 100 will override 200?
200 will override, na? Because 200 will execute it
Okay.
later. First, the 100 will
Okay.
execute, right? Then 200 will execute. So if 200 and is clashing with the functionality of 100, right? Then 200 will override the 100 wala thing.
Okay. Clear.
Then yeah. So our condition is, if our priority is critical, we have set the condition. Now come to the global part. If you are checking it, right, it will execute on all views.
Hmm.
If you
What
uncheck
do
it
we?
and select the
Yeah.
view, for example, with us it's financial view, right? Then we will get executed only for the financial views.
Okay. But we can. But this applies only to the ticket table, right?
Table is
Oh, sorry. Okay, so we have selected the table, but then there we are selecting the view. So
yes.
whether it applies for everybody or just financial. Okay, makes sense.
Okay. Let's just go with the global view as of now. And then we have this like onload. So UI policies by default executes when the condition is getting changed from true to false or false to true, right? Basically, whenever there is any change. But if you want to explicitly execute this UI policy whenever the this thing is all like whenever the form is being loaded, right? Then also this will execute if you are checking on onload part.
Could you explain that a little?
For example, as of now, we have is like priority is critical, right? So whenever we'll be changing the condition from priority critical to high or high to low, right? Every time
Yeah.
this will get executed, irrespective whether you are checking on onload or you are unchecking it. Okay.
Okay.
On change of priority, it will work. But now, if you want it to be work like whenever that form is being loaded, right? Now, if you can see the priority is critical, at that time also you want it to be like short description should be mandatory. On load of form also. I just
Okay.
loaded the form, right? I haven't touched like anything.
But if I change from critical to high, then how does that
Then it
change?
will work. Then it will work. That's a UI policy ka behavior. But if you
Then we don't need short description mandatory when it is high, right?
then
When when the priority is not critical, then the short description is anyway not mandatory.
yes.
So how does this?
I'm explaining this part now. Okay.
Mhm.
We want whenever the priority is critical, short description should be mandatory, right?
Right?
Now, when I'm loading the form, my priority is
Mhm.
critical, but my short description is not mandatory.
Correct.
correct?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Because
hear
you
you
just
now.
loaded the form. If you this thing will work only if this priority ka value is being changing, right? But if you will check this on load wala part, then it will handle it also whenever the form is being loaded. I can show you that, right? That will be much more understandable.
So if you uncheck unload,
Mhm.
then I see that's not working when you just load the form. But so in that case, when you try to save the form, then it'll throw an error, is it? Because you
As of
didn't
now, it
fill the
will not
short
as
description.
of now, no, it will not throw any error. Can you okay?
Okay.
If short
Okay,
description is not filled,
let's
then it will throw you an error. Yeah, that's there.
okay. Yeah, that's what I was asking. So I mean, maybe you can try one
Yeah,
onload
we'll just try
check.
to execute it. Yeah. Okay. And then we
Yeah.
have reverse if false, right? Now for critical priority, I've make the short description as mandatory. Fine. But now if we're switching it to moderate, right? Then also those short description should become the non-mandatory, right? So that kind of behavior will be handled by reverse if false combination.
Okay. So
If
if
not
it's not
satisfied, then
critical, then
yeah,
if it
then
is not
undo that
critical, then
all.
it's not mandatory.
Yeah, undo the whole things which is there with the critical priority.
Okay.
Okay. Now we'll just okay. One is inherit. For example, in this our ticket table, right? We have this. We have extended it from task table, right?
Yeah.
So if we will check an inherit part, right? If we check it inherit as true, then whatever UI policies there on the task table, those should also get applied on the ticket table.
But this is basically if the ticket table gets extended, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Mm.
Right? Now we'll just save it. This is one is UI policy. If you will know, like as of now, we have just taken it like if priority is critical. Now we need to define the behavior for policy actions, which is like short description is mandatory. So that will be defining under the UI policy actions.
Okay.
Let's click on new. Field name will be a short description. Right? And we want it to be mandatory.
All right.
Right?
Okay.
So,
So here you can make it visible and
read
invisible read
only.
only. Okay. What's clear the field value?
So let me just check it that thing also. Now, if you have entered this short description, right, while on critical priority, right? And now if you're switching it to priority, you're switching it to high priority, right?
Uh-huh.
So the short description which I have entered, right? If
It'll
I'm
go.
doing this thing, that thing will also get cleared.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's not necessarily recommended to
Ah,
check it.
yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But it makes sense, right? But if you are switching the priority, right? First it was critical, you have entered the short description accordingly, right? But now if you have back to like this high thing, right? Then either
Yeah.
it's just based on your scenario whether you wanted to keep it there or you want it you don't want it to there, right? For example, when you're dealing with a visible ka field, then it makes sense, then you just clear the field value because we don't want something is there previously, now it's also there when you make the field from display yes to display no, right? Something like that.
Right.
But with mandatory non-mandatory you can keep it, and or yeah, it's just a scenario based thing how does a requirement state. We'll just execute it. Right? If you will see, priority is critical, but short description is not mandatory. Right? Now, if I switch to high priority, it worked. But now, if I switch it back to critical priority, my short description comes mandatory. You got it? Whenever we are
Uh,
switching it back
yeah.
to critical, then it will work
See. Yeah.
because
I see.
because we haven't checked this unload wala part, onload wala part. Now, if we will check this thing also, right? Now, if you will load the form also, Then if your priority is critical, short description will come as mandatory only.
Okay, and if I change it from critical to something else?
That thing will work only. That's in like ServiceNow UI policy ka behavior only.
मुझे
On change
difference
that
समझ नहीं आ रहा अभी तक.
on change that will definitely work. On change that anytime will work.
So मुझे difference नहीं समझ आया फिर.
Onload, you have to explicitly check it if you want this thing to be work on onload also. It's just that simple. On change, it will always work. Onload, if you want to work it onload, then you have to check this checkbox.
So what? Maybe मैं ये समझ नहीं पा रहा. What is unload?
Not when you're loading the form. Just now we have seen that, no? Let me just uncheck it again.
Jeez, this is confusing.
No,
Sorry.
it has nothing to do. Yeah, you are loading the form, right? You
Okay.
haven't touched anything yet. You have just
Correct.
loaded the form. You
Okay.
haven't changed any priority. Nothing is just that you have done nothing. You have just loaded the
Correct.
At
Correct.
this time, if you will think in the terms of user experience, your priority is critical. Your short description should be mandatory, right?
Correct. अभी नहीं है. Okay. So have we checked it or not checked it yet?
Not checked it.
Okay. So that's the only difference then.
Yes, yes. If you want to make UI policies work on load also, then you have to explicitly check it.
Okay. But then agar if I select like default priority is like let's say not selected or something, then I can do with like
Then the on change will work.
right.
Like if my as of now, so my priority is by default is critical, right? If
Correct.
by default none, right? Then you
Hmm.
need not to do with this thing, critical wala
Yeah.
part.
Right.
Then
So if I can keep it on load, and I mean I can uncheck unload and that still works, right?
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, clear.
Let me just check it what we have done. Node is not true or not. It's true. Okay. The same behavior is gonna that. We'll just like cover this thing also. Clear field value. As of now, is critical. Right. Now, if we switch to high, and if we switch to critical, then this field
Cleared
value.
value. It cleared when you moved
Yes.
back to critical.
Yes.
Okay.
And same behavior is that it will be there for other like visible
But
and
can
readable.
we make sure like it doesn't clear or no, we can't?
You can just uncheck that, right? If you want to keep it there only, like.
But I think oh, okay.
Simply uncheck this value, then it will always be there. And make sure, Rudra, whenever you're making any change to the UI policy or client scripts, right? Basically the client side validation code, right? Make sure to reload your form, then only those things will get applied.
Okay. Sure.
Now it's there only.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
got you.
same thing will be there for this thing, visible and read only. Okay. Now we can write script also into it, but it's not recommended to write it. If you want to write some scripts or something, then you should go with the client scripts. But there is one. Yeah, tell me.
We will touch scripting part later, right?
Today only we'll be touching it. No?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So that's the one part. We have covered the UI policies, right? Now we'll go with the client scripts. Okay. Let me just make this inactive so we can cover the whole scenario with client script also once.
Okay.
Okay, same this we'll just give it same name, short description mandatory on chain right? Table, you will select the table, ticket table, right? The same thing, active inherited, the same thing which is there for UI policies. Global is again the kind of thing, UI policy. Okay. Now we have UI policies like desktop, mobile, service portal, or all, right?
Well, okay.
If it's just about the desktop application, just go with the desktop thing, right? But if you are thinking like if you have like some mobile or service portal also for those forms, then you can go with mobile and service portal, or you can go with all if you are handling this behavior on both sides.
Okay. So why don't we by default just select all? Like if ever anything happens, like people go mobile, then it's there.
Yeah, like if you
Okay.
are thinking you can go like you can switch to mobile or service portal, then you can go with all also.
Doesn't affect anything else, right?
No, it won't fit,
Okay.
right? And then we have type. So with this client scripts, we have four types of client scripts. One is your on cell edit, which is again rarely used. Then we have on change, on load, and on submit. As their name suggests, so on change will get executed whenever there is a change in any of the field. For example, we have dealt with this priority ka change, right? You
Mhm.
can select the on change and then you can select the priority field. And if it's on load, it will get executed on the loader form.
Okay.
Right? Then now we have like on submit. When you are submitting the form, right? For example, now we'll just take the scenarios. On cell edit will execute when you are changing the any of the field from the list view.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Then this on cell edit will come into the picture. But
Okay.
if you are doing the this thing right, if you're handing over the
Change.
form side, then those three are there for you.
Okay. Can we see on change? Uh,
So
like
fine, we'll start with on load.
on load is same as we saw earlier, right?
Yeah, it will be the same, but I just want to cover the scripting also, like a little bit scripting on that thing.
Because I'm still not completely sure what is on change.
We'll cover that. On change is
Okay.
like containing two or three concepts. For to cover those concepts, I just want to cover like first on load part.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So now we have now one class for client side. Actually, two classes. You can have like two classes like uh, mostly used classes from the form side. One is your G underscore form, and the other one is your G underscore user. Right. So
Okay.
are you aware about those classes and methods?
No.
Okay, now it is. So basically, when you're dealing with when I'm saying the classes or objects, right? So just take it as we have like one object, and we have like different functionalities attached to it by using these methods. For example, I am talking about this G underscore form, right? So G underscore form is a class which comes up with whole lot of methods which we can use to make our things work. Okay, for
Okay.
example, now we are dealing with the mandatory visible read only kind of thing, right? Now we can use this, we can have like various methods attached to it. We can use G underscore form dot set mandatory, right? Which will take two parameters of your first is your field name, right? And second will be the value as true or false. It will
Sorry.
come
First is what field name. Okay.
field name, and second one is your whether you wanted to make it that thing or not, like true or false, boolean kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
right? For mandatory, it's set mandatory. For read only, it's set read only, right? Then for set visibility, set visible, right? So those many things are there. And if you want to get some values of some particular field, right, then you can use g underscore form dot get value. Okay, if you want
Get
to,
value is what to for a reference field.
No, get value is to fetch the any of the value. For example, if you want to fetch a value which is there for short description, right?
Okay.
Yeah, to fetch the value of it, right? Then you can use the get value. If you want to set some specific value of the any field, right? Then you can set the value of it. Right? We have like different methods to it. Today,
Okay.
when you'll be today as an assignment, you can cover this G underscore form ka class, which you can have like
Okay.
a whole lot of different methods. For example, if you want to show some field message to it, right? Then you can use this show field message, all those scenarios, right? Now we'll just check our own load ka scripting is the same thing.
Is
Yeah.
there a I mean, there must be a ServiceNow sort of uh, document or something that I
Yes,
can
yes.
refer, like what is what, right?
Service for community, yeah. It will be easily available if you just type like G underscore form and it will give the whole lot of things.
Okay, I want to see like everything that is possible, everything that is there,
Yeah.
so that I can, like everything that is there, like so that I know what is what.
You want me to redirect you to that document, yeah?
I can search, maybe.
Yeah, this thing.
Okay. Yeah, I'll find. No worries.
So there are many methods. You can just go through it, like
Okay.
add error message, add form messages. Right? But the
Okay.
most used ones now will I think we'll be covering in class only. Like the methods which we have like used in our like whole career that we can cover in a class also.
Okay.
Okay. So now our scenario is if my priority is critical, my short description should be mandatory. Right? Now while doing in client script, right? First to fetch this value, right? First you need a value of it, right? Take a value you need it. For that what you will do is where priority is equals to G underscore form dot get value of we will take as the backend name of these fields. Priority. Get value of priority. Okay. Now if my priority is equals to again the backend name of critical ka priority. Like this we are covered, right? First
Mm-hmm.
critical is its label and one is its value. When
Mm-hmm.
you're writing the script, everything will be their backend things only.
All right.
Okay. If priority is equals to critical, then make G underscore form dot set mandatory short description as true. Okay. Else false. So yeah, you got it right. Any doubts so far? Like in this thing, then we'll execute it. Like whatever I have written. If you have like any doubts, we'll just take it.
No, all good. But then I think I'm not from a coding background, so I don't understand like bad priority and
Uh, else, right?
else I understand that's the logic. Um, but then what? So I also understand like priority is a variable one, but I my so it's not like I have a doubt or anything on this. It's like it'll not occur to me to start with where priority is equal to G underscore form, and then that place where you put two is equal to, I'm like, yeah, those things. But then I think those are purely scripting knowledge, right?
Scripting knowledge, and you can just go through a session or so to just handle those basic scripting, right? That thing you can do.
Yeah.
Right? If you want me to cover that thing also, then just let me know. We'll just take one class before starting with the actual scripting. We'll just cover this scenario. like how to get that variable, if else, and for at least. These 2 or 3 things are mandatory to know.
Yeah, no, that'd be great if we can. If you have the bandwidth to do that, that'll be great. I mean, it's like from the literary point of view, like I understand if priority is one, then G form set mandatory sort description true, else that I understand, right? From the literary point of view.
Got it, got it.
But then yeah, but from coding point of view, like you started with bad priority and then yeah,
Table
so
and if else part, I think so we should cover, because in future lectures we will be having if else a lot, and then while loops or for loops a lot. So I'll just take
yeah,
20 minutes ka thing so that we can cover this thing again. Like in our next class, we'll just cover this part first.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because that we'll be doing so much around this.
sure.
If you remember, we have made this UI policy inactive, right? This thing will get worked from the this part,
The scripting.
client scripting. Okay. Now the thing is, now just it will just work on onload part, right? Now if you
Right.
want to make it work on change of priority also, right? For that you need to write the whole new script. It's like on change the client script. Okay.
Is that very different from it?
Yeah, it's gonna be like whole new script for it. And that's where the things, that's why we have, like, for these type of scenarios, then we suggest to write the UI policies.
Right. Okay.
In those kind of scenarios, we ask person to use the UI policies. Now we'll cover the scenarios which we can cover from EU client scripts, which are like, right? For example, now if you want on online kind of scenario, wherever what you want is, if your priority is, if your priority is critical, right? And you want to combine this value. For example, you want to update the work notes, and you want to update the short description or description to it, right? If you want to set some specific value, then you can go with the client scripts kind of scenarios. For example, if my priority is critical, right, I want to set the specific value to it. Right?
Okay.
Then these kind of, for these kind of scenarios, you can go with the this client script if you want to set specific values to it. Setting some specific values, we don't have this provision from UI policies.
So it'll always start with testing. Okay.
Okay. Now we'll go with the on change client script. Let me just make it inactive. Okay. Same thing. Table name, right? Type will be on change. Field name will be your priority. Right now. So the code by, like, if it that, so the code which is coming like automatically, right? If it's there whenever you're if it's auto populated, so that part we known as the boilerplate code.
Okay.
For example, this function onload will there, it was there when we have switched it to onload wala thing, right? For example,
Right.
the new one only. Onload, it's there, right?
Yeah.
Submit, it's there. On change. So that part of code we used to call it as boilerplate code, and then like this coding term. So yeah, right?
Yeah.
It comes with some parameters. For example, for onload, we don't have like any parameter, right? For on change, we do have some parameters: control, old value, new value, is loading, is template. So now we'll just cover some of the parameters values. So the control is basically will cover all the information related to this field priority. Okay. And old value will cover what is the old value of this priority field before we are
because it's
making
changed.
any change. Yes. New value after making any change, what is the value come for priority?
Okay.
Okay. Is loading is boolean kind of flag will be true when the form is being loaded, right? And when you're just the form is already being loaded, now we're making like any change, right? So in that case, is loading will be false.
Okay.
Okay, and then we have one field as like is template, one variable object. Yeah, one parameter is like is template. So we have no functionality in ServiceNow. I'm not sure if you're aware about. If you want to pre-populate these values from some template, have you come across like any of the functionality? Like, we used to get this template bar here,
Mm-hmm.
right? So what templates will do now, it will auto-populate the whole values if you have like selected any of the things from template. Right? So is template will check whether that value is coming from template or not. If on that form is template being applied or not, it will just check that. It's again yes, true or false kind of. It will give you the true, either true or false, but it will check whether the values are which are populating on this form, right? Whether it's from the template or it's the manual values which is being entered by the user. Now for on change, the boilerplate code says if my is loading or my like new value is empty, right? Then just return. Then just do nothing. If I'm just returning it over here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And now if you want to explicitly execute on change wala client, on change of the field which you have selected here on field name, right? And the new value of that field is not empty, right? Then only execute the code.
Okay.
Okay. For example, in our case, we are doing, let me just copy paste this code. Right? For this priority, so I'm already covering that. For this, I can like take it as new value also because it is storing the value of the priority.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
And then I can just do the same thing.
If new value is 1, you are not explaining the priority is 1, right?
Yeah, because it is being stored. The priority field we have already
Okay.
defined. Old and new value will take the value from priority only.
Okay. But in on load, you did explain that that's a priority.
Yes, because at that time I don't have an access to the old and new value wala concept. Because we're not
Right here.
selecting
Okay.
any
Here
field.
you're not sure. Got you.
Because we're
So
not selecting any field. So we are not
the
sure
form
how,
is different. The
yeah,
form itself is different, right? Okay.
yeah. And we are not even sure how what they want us to deal with. So here we know it will get
Correct.
executed only when we are changing the priority. Right?
You're right. Okay.
Just for you, we'll just alert our old value is equals to old value. It will show you what was the old value of the form. Right? So
What does this mean?
let's just put it here. Those are just kind of alerts to it. Like if you want to debug something, right now you want to check what was the old value, what was the new value, you can just alert it. Okay. Now if it's not there, then I just want to clear out those things.
You probably need to. There's a spelling mistake. False.
The spelling mistake. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. First we'll execute it, then I'll just take up the doubts. Okay.
Sure. I didn't get the alert part though.
Alert part you will get to know here only. That's why. right? Nothing is there because we first thing our onload for client script is inactive, and second part is our this thing is only on change. If the
Change.
form is being loaded, we are just returning it, we're not doing anything, right?
Right.
That's why it didn't work. Now if you will switch the priority to moderate, right?
Right.
Now if you have switched it to this priority to moderate, this part will not execute. First it will execute this part, right? Alert old value. It is
Right.
giving me one alert which was like, let me just switch it back.
But shouldn't you, I mean, for an end user, it doesn't mean anything like old value is equal to one. Probably have to,
There's nothing
right?
to, yeah, alert is like, it should be like valid alerts for this one. If you want to show it to the user for debugging, it's just for us for debugging it,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Moderate, I just want to make you the understand of the old value, new value concept. That's why I've alerted it.
But if I want to show this alert message as your previous value is equal to critical, then in this exact words, can
Mm-hmm.
we do that from there?
As of now, I've taken like old value, right? You can do it like this, like if you want to show it like back front end value, right? The user, for example, the whole new message you want to show the user is switching from pre-critical to moderate, right?
Okay.
Those kind of things you can just, yeah, it's just a string manipulation,
Okay.
right? So yeah,
Sure.
uh, for you, I just want to make you understand the concept of old value, new value. Now old
Gotcha.
value is equals to 1, right? If you will just check the priority is critical. Now we are switching from critical to moderate, right?
Right.
For that, your new value will be 3, right?
Okay.
Those things will get executed. Now if my priority is critical, right? As of now, it's not critical. So it comes out to be, it has, like, it does nothing. Just,
Okay.
yeah, making the short description is mandatory. And if there will be any value to it, then it will just clearing out those content. Right? Now
Mm-hmm.
let's switch it back to critical, right? Again, my old value is 1, right? My new value is equals to 1. Okay. And then short description is tested. You got it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the these things. Now if you want to execute those things, this alerts. Now if you want to make this thing execute even on the onload also, right? Then you can just remove this thing. Now this client script will work on onload also.
Okay.
Right? This worked
Mm-hmm.
as onload also. Okay. Those things are done. Any doubt in onload or on change? No? We are good to go with on submit, right?
Yeah.
Let me just make it again inactive, or we can go with active also. Let's just do it. Now, if my priority is critical, right? My short description should be mandatory. But if user is not like updating the short description, and on submission also priority is critical and user giving the short description is empty only, then the form submission should not be allowed.
Correct. But quick question. So wouldn't that work anywhere by default with on change or unload?
Yes,
Because you
download will work because we have mandated in the short description, right?
correct. Correct.
But now if
So
we
you
have,
anyway cannot submit.
yeah, but now if you haven't like explicitly mandating the short description, right? If it's not nothing there, and if you do like multiple kind of validations, for example, critical priority is critical, right? And now
Mhm.
short description is there for you, but the state is open.
Right.
Now if my scenario is like this, if my priority for example, if my priority is critical, right, short description is dead, short description is not the short description is there, but my state in that case should also be work in progress.
Okay.
You want to do some kind of validations on the submission part, right? Then you can go with the on submit client script.
So it's a complementary thing, is it?
Complementary thing you can say, or I'll just take up the other, another scenario of it. If you want to validate some of the other things from submission, it's just about the short description, right? If you just about thinking about the mandating part.
But
Now,
why can't I have the same thing with my on
mandatory
change or on
mandatory
load script?
mandatory part is good, right? Now, if I want on change of form, I'm checking whether my priority is critical or moderate. For critical priorities, my short description should be of 120 words.
Okay.
Those kind of validations. If we now, if it's not about it has nothing to do with priority, it is containing other fields also. For example, if my priority is critical, my state is open, my parent is not empty, so I will check short description should be of 120 or like 100 words. If those kind of scenarios are not meeting, right?
Mhm.
So user should not be able to submit the form.
Okay, so I can, so then in that case, I can have two, like on change maybe active and then on submit also active. I can have two of those active.
On change you can have it, because if you want to mandatory this short description, but right, on change will handle only one field at a time. Are you getting my point?
Right, right.
Submit you can have
So
like check for multiple validations.
correct. So what I'm asking is,
Hmm?
so let's say
Mm-hmm.
we enable and keep that on change active,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then on submit also, can I have both of them active at the same time? Because on submit, I'm having, is it?
Like yeah. If there's nothing,
Okay.
this thing, so I'm just doing for testing purpose. Let's just make it active only. Hmm?
And with on change or on load, it's just one condition. I can't have multiple conditions here, is it?
Which condition?
Like for example, short description is mandatory with this script, right?
Mm-hmm.
So so there is only one. I cannot have multiple, is it?
You can have multiple. You can have like anything. It's just it. Those things will work on change of priority. You can have as many things as you want. It has nothing to do with
So
the option.
so so here I can just do, let's say short description is mandatory, and then if the if state is open, then short description has to be 100 characters. So if I add all these things here, then on submit becomes irrelevant, right?
No. Now, uh, you have like make the on priority wala thing, right? One thing. Now, if user has entered 50 characters to it, right?
Mhm.
Now you want to trigger the message, but that will be like on change of short description on, because that will not get executed again, right? You can simply mention the field message that short description should be of 50 to 100, like 100 characters minimum. But you can't control this thing, right? If you want to control this thing, then you have to write the client script on short description,
Okay.
on change of short description. Like if my priority is critical and my short description is under 100 characters, right? Then you need to throw an error message to user.
Right. And I can't have that on change or on load. I mean on change, not on load.
You can do it on change of short description. You have to write one another script to it.
Huh. Oi.
That you can do. Then in that case, Rudra, if we just talk about feasibility, right? Then how many scripts? Then how many scripts you will write if it's gonna be like an on change of on change of on change of, right? One thing. And second thing is user can get the error message, but what if user ignores the error message and submits the form? User can do that, right?
Fair.
To handle those kind of scenarios, if we want to
So
hard
so
stop it,
if user ignores that, whenever we code do the scripting, wouldn't that check the characters? No, it's only on submit.
think about on change. User ignores that, user can submit the form.
Okay.
Submit में आप लिखोगे तो we can return it as false and user will not be able to save the form.
Okay.
We are not on change client script can't hard stop the user to submit the form, whereas on submit client script can stop the user to submit the form if something is not valid as per our scenarios.
Okay.
Okay.
But on change made that sort of short description mandatory, so that made it unsubmittable if that is not filled.
Come again?
So on change में अपना short description mandatory हो गया. So that in turn made it कि user submit नहीं कर सकता without filling that out.
User can submit it. And we being a user तो no, हम लोग bypass कर रहे हैं तो we'll bypass it only.
Like how will you bypass? Because short description is not mandatory. If you remove the testing, can you submit it?
But client वो script वो limit तो नहीं है ना आपके पास. Character limit नहीं है ना यहाँ पे. Okay.
हाँ okay.
So that.
So मैं वही जानना चाह रहा था कि character limit हम यहाँ पे enforce नहीं कर सकते हैं. Character limit हम right? But character limit on submit में enforce हो सकता है. Is that what you're saying?
If you want to something enforce, if you want to hard stop it, then you can just simply go with the on submit the client script.
Yeah.
Mandatory thing, yeah, mandatory things will work. Oh, I haven't passed the field to it. It also takes 2 parameter, which is field and this thing.
मैं थोड़ा ज़्यादा डाइजेस्ट कर रहा हूँ क्या चीज़ों को? आपको ज़्यादा टाइम लग रहा है?
नहीं, take your time.
Okay.
Then only these things will work.
Okay.
अभी हम लोग जितने कॉन्सेप्ट्स फ्रेशन अप करते जाएंगे हम लोगों को आगे जाके उतना ही इजी होगा.
Okay. क्योंकि all these things, like I have no idea. I mean,
No,
about
it's
this
perfectly
thing.
fine. Please enter the minimum 100 characters.
Okay.
So you can't enforce it, right?
Okay.
Now those things we can get handled from on submit the client script.
Okay.
So let's do it like this thing over. Take it, type on submit, right? Now I'll check where this description is supposed to g underscore form dot get value description if DSC dot length is less than 100 and g underscore form dot get value of equals to 1. G underscore form dot add error message. Return false. Either return true.
Why return false?
Because if that condition is not matching, right? If it's a length is 100 and g underscore form dot get value we just want to return false. False and true ka return means user should be able to save the form or user should not be able to save the form.
Correct. Okay.
Okay, now if I just try to save the form, please enter description of minimum 100 characters. Right? I'll just enter something. So this is 100. Okay, now I'll just try to save the form. It will get updated. It's not 100 now. That's why it was not saving earlier also. Okay.
मिल गया कहाँ?
Hmm?
Where did the short description go?
Short description if you see in the database, right, it will be there. But our client script is getting executed because of this short description testing is coming.
Okay.
You will, for database thing, na, what you can do is right click, show examine. Okay, search for field short description. Now, in the database, it's there. You got it?
Yeah, but then script override करें
हमारा
उसको.
client script भी execute हो रहा है वो testing वाला. That's why on the form side it is showing as execute testing. You got the concept of that client script and server side. वो client script ने override कर दिया उसको. But database में हम लोगों के पास जो हम लोगों ने form save किया है, right? वो आएगा.
Yeah, so we have to remove that this part here, right? Testing.
Not else part, this one.
Yeah, just the testing part.
Yes. Wait.
वर्कस्पेस व्यू में स्क्रिप्टिंग नहीं हो सकती ना?
वर्कस्पेस व्यू में
स्क्रिप्टिंग
स्क्रिप्टिंग
नहीं हो सकता.
हो सकती है वर्कस्पेस व्यू में, बट वर्कस्पेस के लिए स्क्रिप्टिंग के लिए मोस्टली वर्कस्पेस का ही यूज करना पड़ता है, वर्क स्क्रिप्टिंग कंपोनेंट्स का ही.
Okay.
So I think so we are over the time. So any doubts so far?
So far नहीं. I'm good.
And I just want to make you request one thing. हम लोग क्या 30 minutes पहले ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं prior to like this thing if you are not busy much?
Sure.
Can I ask
Sure.
to schedule the meeting accordingly?
Sure.
You don't have much to do, right? Because you can manage it, right?
Otherwise कितने बजे स्टार्ट होता है? 8:30. Yeah, 8 बजे. Yeah, I think we can do.
Okay. Like for me it will be 6:30. Okay, yeah. Right?
Yeah, मैं सुबह उठ नहीं सकता, so I'm okay.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So we'll go down it.
If I were you, I would just like, can you push half an hour later?
I can manage waking up earlier, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Rudra.
Yeah.
Take care.
Just take us some time to get practice all those stuff. Then it will be like easier.
Yeah. And Nero, like one other thing I noticed just occurred to me today, but then I wasn't well, so couldn't have done. You said you'll send me that list that you were showing last time for the tables so that I can create.
Right?
I don't know, is there any way that we can communicate so that you can send me those items? Yeah, this thing, and
We'll share it with
if you
the team, and Think Scalar team will share it with you.
what?
I'll share it with team, and team will share it with you.
Yeah, like however that works. Like if you and then you said you'll send me the update set.
Updates it also.
So however you want to do that. So I think there should be a communication channel. So just keeping that in your radar. Like if you want to speak to Satya or whoever, and
I'll
get
check.
that. Yeah.
Okay, I'll check with him. Yeah.
Okay.
If we can have a directly communication rather than going, yeah, it will take some time.
Like,
I'll
or
check.
maybe we can have a WhatsApp group or something, UI and Satya or whoever, so that they are also aware of what's happening.
Makes sense.
Right?
I will just check with my team. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. All right. Thank you, Niro.
Yeah. Bye bye. Take care.
All right. Take care. Bye.